Now I want to hear from the other camp. Who thinks the avant-garde kind of scored an upset here? Yeah. Okay, good. So the avant-garde was always meant to be ephemeral, and have its effect as a kind of stunt in the moment. And the fact that a museum later recognizes the historical significance of that stunt doesn't mean that they lost any power. So many great points here. One of which is clearly the kind of underlying thesis that the museum recognizes the importance of the new. And I think something you mentioned in passing is the fact that there is a caption explaining what the artwork does. And that's something we could read as an institutional victory of like, okay, the museum's going to explain what the avant-garde artwork was doing and therefore kind of spin the narrative in terms of, describing why the museum thinks the artwork is important rather than the artist. But the fact that the language of that placard is almost certainly going to draw upon the ideas of the manifestos means the avant-garde has fully infiltrated, right? It is in that way calling the shots of like what is deemed important, and the curators, the docents, the critics who are in charge of writing about the art are probably ingesting what the manifestos said about the art and then spitting it back, right? Okay, good. So this could be an avant-garde victory. Maybe the avant-garde fundamentally changed the rules of what we should value in art, and that institutions and audiences then followed their lead. The old guard used to dictate the rules through academies, but once the old guard got co-opted by totalitarianism, it looked like those values might be bankrupt or empty. And so in the wake of World War II and with the rise of the Cold War, the avant-garde started to look like the art of freedom, the art of individualism, the art of resistance, and therefore, and museums recognized that and were willing to suddenly exhibit and celebrate that art. So now when we go into a museum, as Bürger argues, the discourse of the institution has been molded. It's molded by the avant-garde to a degree that no one could have predicted. Avant-garde categories such as rupture and shock gained admittance to the discourse of art. And that is a major legacy for the avant-garde. It made novelty, innovation, and experimentation the highest goals of the form.